Today, we're going to be taking a look at set 75348, Mandalorian Fang Fighter vs. TIE Interceptor with 957 parts, retailing for $100 in the US. Now, looking at the box art here, we have a very sleek TIE Interceptor going after a Mandalorian Fang Fighter with a planet in the background, and we have 4 minifigures, which we'll get into in a minute. Some nice Mandalorian box art. You can see that it has the orange color, which I believe represents the Mandalorian, and then going on the back of the box, we can see the TIE Fighter is landed, and the TIE Fighter pilot is trying to fend off Mando, but obviously that fight is not going to last long, especially considering the Fang Fighter, which is in the air, looking like it's about to strike down that TIE Interceptor. So that TIE pilot is going nowhere, unless that astromech is anywhere near as effective as Chopper from Star Wars Rebels. There's also some nice play features on the back here. You can see when you put the Mandalorian's antenna down, you can close the little cockpit piece right there and have him fly around the Fang with the Fang Fighter. You can launch spring-loaded shooters from both ships, which is very nice for kids as a play feature, and you can open up the TIE Interceptor to fit your TIE pilot. Let's get into the minifigures. First off, we have the Mandalorian Din Djarin in his amazing new Beskar armor. Well, it's not new Beskar armor, but it's a new Beskar helmet, which looks much more clean than the older one. The older one looked a bit like a misprint. Also featuring the new Darksaber mold that was introduced, that's also going to be in the Summer Wave. The set actually includes enough parts to make 2 Darksabers, so if you need an extra one for a different character, or you just like to get more value out of the set, that is good news for you. On the back, you can see Din Djarin has a jetpack, and his back print is going to be the exact same as it was for the Mandalorian Season 2 sets, so there's not much to be seen there. It is also worth noting that you can remove the helmet to get a good look at Din Djarin's face. Removing the helmet, you can see his little stubble there. You got Pedro Pascal's face looking very nice, and this is probably the best Mandalorian minifigure ever created in LEGO. Probably coming out to a tie with the Season 1 UCS Razor Crest figure, because they're pretty much the exact same, so it's just down to preference whether you like the Season 1 or Season 2 appearance. But I think this is probably my favorite Din Djarin minifigure made by LEGO. Next up, we have the Mandalorian Fleet Commander with a thermal detonator and a Mandalorian blaster. There's actually 2 thermal detonators included in the set, but only 1 Mandalorian blaster. Would have been nice to get 2 because everything else is extra in the set, but what can you ask for? It's just an extra. Very sleek looking torso print. I do really like this minifigure. The minifigure also sports a jetpack in gunmetal gray, much like Din Djarin over there. And under the helmet, you can see he has a very nice face print. He actually has a double-sided face, so on one side he has the little smirk there. I guess he's pretty happy, and then on the other side you can see he's looking more inquisitive. He looks like The Rock, basically. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that's what he's looking like. If you know, you know. But that is the Mandalorian Fleet Commander, easily the highlight of the minifigures. Next up, we have the TIE Fighter Pilot, which is easily my favorite TIE Fighter pilot LEGO has ever produced. The helmet, I believe, looks a bit different than the regular TIE Fighter Pilot, although the TIE Fighter Pilot is called just that in the set. It is not the TIE Interceptor Pilot, which would have been cool to get an exclusive pilot in this set, because the minifigures are kind of a flop in this set other than Din Djarin and the Mandalorian Fleet Commander. It does include 2 blasters in the set, so you have 2 pistols. You can have a backup for your TIE pilot. Got some nice back printing there, and the leg printing in the front looking very nice, as well as, much like every other figure in this set, besides the upcoming astromech droid, which we'll get into in a second, they have a face print, which is actually, I believe, the same as the Scout Trooper in the Hoth battle packs, and LEGO has been using 4 specific head molds, or 5 I think, for Imperials for the last couple years, which they all look very, very nice and are definitely way better than an angry clone head. Next up, the kind of disappointing part for some people. Honestly, I don't mind it too much because I am a big fan of Imperial minifigs, but there is an Imperial astromech droid. No back printing on this droid. Would have made up for a lot of the minifigures, just lack of minifigures in this set, but No back printing on this figure. I wouldn't expect LEGO to put back printing on it, but it does look very nice in the front. I am a big fan of this Imperial Astromech droid. So now I have 2 Imperial Astromech droids, which is kind of cool to have too. But yeah, those are the minifigures. Getting into the Mandalorian Fang Fighter, I do really like the color scheme of this set. The gray and the white blend very nicely together with the kind of slight blue colors you can find near the controls and for the thrust of the ship. And it all rounds off very, very nice. And I do actually really like this new X-Wing cockpit piece. It's not really new anymore, I guess, but it does look very, very nice. And something that I haven't seen in a LEGO Star Wars set yet, at least not that I can recall, is the controls inside of the Mandalorian Fang Fighter. This is the most accurate piece I've seen used that represents what is actually in Star Wars. It is very, very nice to be getting the kind of handlebars that are in most ships and starfighters you can find in the Star Wars universe. And just like the box art shows, you can put your Mandalorian Fleet Commander in there. You have to bend his antenna down to fit him in there, which the back of the box does actually show you have to do that. So at least LEGO is not false advertising with this set. I guess they care more about the Mandalorian than they do about clone troopers. It's not a big surprise there. Anyway, once you put him in and have the antenna kind of down, you can close your cockpit just like so, and he can fly around. It's very easy to kind of swoosh this around and fire, as you just saw, the flick fire missiles. Very, very fun to use. And there's also, I don't know if it was exactly meant for this, but there is a little panel you can take off, and there's enough room, if you want, you can put the blaster and the thermal detonator in there, and then you can just close it on up, and it does actually work very, very nicely. I might actually use that for his blaster. Last time I put it in there, I forgot where his blaster went, so that was a bit funny. So just remember where if you put it in there. Also, in the front here, they're actually a little bit tilted for me. I gotta fix that and straighten them out, but you can see that there's some very nice guns and like turrets in the front that you can use, or the Mandalorian can use, I guess you could say, to obviously shoot the TIE Interceptor, which is always cool to see. This build is pretty straightforward. I'd say out of the 2 ships, this one uses significantly less parts, and you kind of notice it while building, and it seems like more of a hodgepodge ship to have in there. Like, the real deal about this set is the TIE Interceptor, which we will get into in a moment. Boy, isn't this beautiful. This is what I have been waiting for, a TIE Interceptor. The last time we got one of these, it was the early 2000s, so safe to say, I was pretty hyped about this set. And much like the other TIE fighters, you can open up the cockpit, both with the windshield, which is technically not canon, but it's easier to get the minifigure in there, and the top hatch, which is canon, and that's how they actually open them in universe. This TIE Interceptor honestly blew me away. The shaping around the cockpit piece is just perfect. It is so circular, it fits so well, and it really just wraps around this whole kind of like center part of the TIE fighter. Like, it's just the greebling and all the detailing done here looks amazing. It's crazy. Like, this is the best detailing I've seen on a TIE fighter probably ever. There's some flick fire missiles that you can fire at the Fang Fighter, of course, for kids, and it's a great play feature to have. And when you actually load them up into the TIE Interceptor, they do a lot for the TIE Fighter's look. I think it looks really nice to have that kind of green with the TIE Fighters. They're notorious for having bits of green on them like that for the blasters, so that is always very, very nice. And inside the controls in the cockpit, you can see, much like the regular TIE Fighter, there is a kind of control panel with some red parts as well, very accurate to canon, and your TIE fighter pilot can go there. Pretty self-explanatory how the cockpit works. I mean, we've had so many TIE fighters from LEGO. There's really not much of a point in explaining or showing you how to put a TIE fighter pilot in there, but I will say also the wing detailing looks amazing. I mean, the top and the bottom, it's like whatever. You know those are going to look very, very nice, and there's generally not much of a surprise there, but this middle section actually really blew me away. The detailing, especially around this part, looks so, so nice, and then this looks so smooth aligned with this so detailed part. It is just crazy. And then here, this is where the in-universe lasers would come out of when the obviously when the TIE fighter pilot shoots them off at their enemies. So overall, very, very nice ship, and I am just so hyped to have this in my collection. I can add it to my TIE fighter shelf up there, although I have no room left on the shelf. I don't know where I'm going to put it. Out of all the new May 4th sets from the May 4th release, I gotta say, this is probably my favorite set within them. The speeder chase was definitely a highlight for me because although the Endor figures were not accurate and most of the community hated them for their inaccuracy, I really do like how they look regardless of them being inaccurate. Anyway, this set is probably going to beat out the Endor Speeder Chase. It's just not as overpriced, and stacking VIP points, I got this set for only $80, as well as I used 15% cash back from Rakuten. Sadly, that deal has ended, so I don't have any affiliate link for you to go use or anything, but that 15% cash back will bring the set's price down even more, so that is just amazing, amazing news. As far as minifigures go in this set, I think take away Din Djarin. As nice as it is to get the updated Din Djarin, we're getting him in a microfighter. We don't need him in an expensive set. Replace Din Djarin with a Mandalorian, and replace this astromech with one of the like Beskar Imperial troops seen in Season 3, or honestly replace both of them. We don't really see much of this TIE fighter pilot. As much as it makes sense to have a pilot in this set, we really don't need another one. Give us 2 of those special Imperial troops, and then give us a different Mandalorian, or maybe if you kept the Imperial troops and if you had the Imperial troops, you could keep Din Djarin, honestly. He's a nice addition to the set. I'm glad he's in the set, so I don't have to go buy the microfighter for him. However, it would just be really nice to get some more high-quality figures in this set. I get that in sets like this, the $100 versus sets, you're going to have only 4 figures because that is how they did it back in 2016, and it's how they're doing it now. But it would just be nice to see the quality of those figures go way up. I mean, an astromech and a TIE fighter pilot, they make sense, but they really don't cut it for me and a lot of people that are spending $100 on this set, although I did get a nice discount on it. Anyway, with that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this MDR Productions video, because it basically is a complete duplicate of a review from M&R Productions, but I want to start getting into LEGO reviews. So if you do have any critiques for the review video, or have any tips for me, make sure to leave them in the comments below, and tell me what you think about this LEGO Star Wars set. And maybe rank the May 4th sets in the description, or in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys rank them, what your favorite is, what your least favorite is, what you kind of like, what you don't kind of like, what's overpriced, what's fairly priced, you know, the whole gist of it. And I will see you all in the next video. Have an amazing day. Peace out.